We have to make sure that we are holding the sheriffs and our supervisors and all the elected officials accountable to make sure that they tell the truth. We just want the truth at the end of the day.
Now I'm joined with DeWitt Lacy, civil rights attorney out of California. Now, DeWitt, when I first heard about this, I was in utter shock, in utter fear. I mean, I think as a community, being lynched is one of those fears that I think is really chilling and goes to the bone. And then I got very agitated and angry when I heard they ruled this as a suicide before an autopsy was done. And they're going to now say we have to follow the facts. You weren't following facts when you came to that decision. You pulled that out of there. What are you making of this as you're out there on the West Coast?
Look, I think there is some trepidation that the law enforcement community and even local legislators feel about the temper or the temperate of our social atmosphere right now. And so I think they came out acknowledging this as a suicide way too quickly without seemingly there being any real investigation done or the autopsy. So I think they've done the right thing in saying, hey, we're going to look into this further. However, it does give question to the legitimacy of any efforts that the sheriff department will be making. And so it's good that the state attorney's office is looking into it. I hope that they do a forthright and transparent investigation because what we're talking about here is really a bubbling point of some very scary civil and social issues. And hopefully they'll respond to it better than they did initially.
Now, you're seeing the faces of these young men. I want to make sure we name them. Robert Fuller, he was found on June 12th. And here you're actually seeing a picture right now of the other victim, Malcolm Harsh, who was found on May 13th. Now, these are the two men that were found 45 miles away from each other. This is somewhat traumatic. And I've also seen town halls of them pointing out that there are video cameras in that area. I mean, in today's day and age, we're both defense attorneys, do it. You can always find some sort of video somewhere to give you some sort of knowledge of what happened in the area. Now my fear is because it's happened in June 12th and even in May 31st, some of that video might be deleted because some of these small shops don't keep that footage for a long time. So we might be asking for answers that we might never find. And what are we to make of that?
Certainly, we may not. There is some evidence that could have been exfoliated, if we will, and not purposely. But what we should make of it is this. Look, I don't know if there's any better way to say it. Black Lives Matter. And when there is a death of this nature, the investigation ought to be taken very and extremely seriously, especially given the cultural significance of hangings and lynchings of Black persons in this country. And whatever investigation happened beforehand doesn't appear to be as thorough as it could have been, and definitely not as thorough as it should have been.
Even now, as we're talking about this, the first thing at the front of my mind is the song "Strange Fruit," and it breaks my heart that song has some sort of relevance in 2020. I don't think it should have, but the song keeps playing in my mind. I want to switch gears now, but we're going to continue to follow that. Let's talk about